What's going on, everyone? It is your girl, Queen Queen, and thank you for joining me on my podcast. I really appreciate it. We will be discussing many topics and things like celebrity gossip, politics, life lessons, and etc. Please think of me as that homegirl that you've been knowing for years. Remember, the motto is never judge a book by its cover before opening it up and reading it, and agree to disagree. Just stand on what you're saying, period. So sit back, relax, please like, share, comment, give feedback, because remember, this show is for the people. Love, peace, and unity. Mwah. Hello, what's going on, you guys? It is your girl, Queen Queen, and this is Hot Topic. First off, I want to let's make sure that we keep in prayers everyone that was affected by the Texas shooting. It was 19 children and 2 teachers who passed away. If you guys haven't heard about it, it was a teenager, an 18-year-old teenager male that basically ran into a school armed and basically let loose on a lot of children and also teachers. And this is it's a very tough, it is a very touchy subject. I know a lot of people, of course, all around the world, we heard about this. By me being a mother of 3 children at this time when this happened, my heart definitely goes out, not only for the victims, for their parents, for even the children that did survive, because what people fail to realize is that this is something that will traumatize them forever, and this world is so, oh my gosh, like I think I was just thinking about this, like how the world is so corrupt. Just imagine these children thinking that they're just going to school, and then next thing you know, they have to worry about a killer on the loose or someone trying to get in. Now that they did say that the young man did come from the back door, not only that, by him having this type of spurts and spiraling out of control, he even killed or he injured his grandmother before it even happened. So after he basically attacked his grandmother, then he went on to go up to the school, and then these innocent children's life was in danger. Now, as a parent, I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting a little, emotional, because when it comes down to subjects and topics like this, it's very difficult for me to talk about, because I'm consistently putting myself in those shoes. So let's just say a prayer for them, because it's no excuse. I don't care about the news and different people trying to basically say that, oh, he had a mental health issues. We need to stop using that for an excuse. And I'm sorry, I understand a lot of people feel like, well, no, it's a real issue, but it's really sickening for people to sit up here and claim a mental issue once they have definitely hurt innocent people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what bothers me, because these 19 children, these 2 children, especially by being in May, you have to understand a lot of schools was even letting out. Like, these kids are going on into the summertime, and then on top of that, they probably didn't have a award ceremony. They probably just trying to spend their last week in school. So for this to occur, for this to go on, and then just imagine you celebrating your child fit to go to the next grade, and then next thing you know, they have been attacked and they are dead. Come on now. So it's like, it's no excuse for the man who did it. Like, I don't even want to, I seen so many different reports about, oh, he had mental issues and he was getting bullied when he was in school. This was the elementary school that he got bullied in. First of all, if you was getting bullied in school, you are 18 now. You're 18. So what did these children do to you just because they went to the same school that you went to? What did these teachers do for you? And it's just really sad, because to be honest with you, they said not only was he, I guess, in the school for a while period of time, yes, he ended up getting shot. At first, the news did not want to report who shot him, but it was actually a guy who wife had died, one of the teachers, because it was two teachers who passed away, one of the teachers' husband, he is the one who basically, shot the gun to kill the man, the young man that was in there. And I definitely don't feel bad about it. The sickening part was they had the audacity to hold him in jail for a couple of days. And I'm just like, you guys are holding him in jail, but at the end of the day, y'all didn't keep that same energy when it came down to going up in their school and putting a bullet all up and through that, because it's just a lot of stuff is unraveling about this situation, about how parents are saying different stuff, about how the teachers that was there are saying different stuff. And let's just keep in mind all this he say she say stuff. We need to really understand that at the end of the day, innocent children and these teachers and adults or whatever, life will never be the same. And it goes for the ones who passed away, and it goes for the ones that are still living. This is something that is very traumatic for a child, or even the adults and stuff like that. So let's keep everyone in our prayers. Let's stop with the conspiracy theory. Let's just stop, because that's something that I definitely, especially when it comes down to people, death and stuff like that. I hate when people have a lot of conspiracy theories, because at the end of the day, you can have 1,000 or a million conspiracy theories about the situation. We need to focus on the fact of we're never going to be able, these parents, these grandparents, these siblings and family members and stuff like that will never see their loved ones again. So please just keep them in prayer. Let that be something that register in your mind. If you guys want to leave comments and stuff like that about that situation, feel free, because a lot of people had different opinions on the situation of what they would have did. But let's just put this in the mindset too, because a lot of people want to, be judgmental on it, like, oh, I would have did this, I would have did that. But you don't know what you would do when you're in that position. And I understand a lot of you guys are just like, like, whoa, behind my child, you're right. But at the end of the day, you don't know what you would do when you're in that position, because it's easier said than done. So before we start going off and criticizing the parents that did get there on the scene, and they witnessed it or whatever, please be mindful of what you say and what kind of energy and stuff like that you put out, because at the end of the day, even if they wanted to, some people, I'm saying, sometimes cannot react because of the outcome that it might cause. So please be mindful of that. I'll never forget, quick little story. My mom, she worked at the hospital and for years. And to be honest with you, I'll never forget this story. For some reason, this story stood by me. She used to work in the emergency room, but this particular, I think 2 weeks, she had to work in a trauma. And she was saying how a pit bull, some type of dog, had got attached to this little boy, or I think it was a family dog, and he ended up attacking the little boy. And so the dad and the boy was in the garage, and the dog ended up attacking the baby. You know what I'm saying? He probably was at least 5 or 6 years old. Okay, so the dad froze up. The dad sees the dog attack the baby, and he immediately frees up. And they said he had a sudden pause, what I'm saying, like. And then the mother, she came running out, and she immediately went into action and started like trying to remove the dog from the baby, the son. And they took him. He did survive, but do you not understand that guilt and that resentment and all that type of stuff weighed heavily on the father? Like, he even, my mom was like, it's so crazy, because he came to the hospital, he kind of stood back, he was in tears, he was more distraught, because he just was like, I don't understand how I froze up. I supposed to be the man, I supposed to be the father. And then it was like his wife came out there, and she was just immediately on it. She went into action. And that's the reason why I was just saying it, to say, like, you don't know how you might feel or what you might do in a situation when it comes down to any type of thing that is very major. So be mindful, because I've seen a lot of people sitting up here saying different type of disgusting things when it came down to the parents that was on the scene, when it came down to the teachers, even the police officers and stuff like that. So let's just keep a prayer for everybody that was involved. Okay, speaking on that subject, I wanted to go into another story. A woman pulls out a pistol and shoots and kills gunmen who opened fire on a graduation party. So it was a party, you know what I'm saying? She was it was a party that was going on for a graduate. And a man decided to basically, have a shootout. And this is the reason why I sit and say this world is being so corrupt and just getting out of control. Because now you're in an event where you're trying to celebrate somebody basically starting a whole new life, a child becoming an adult officially and everything else. And then for you to sit up here and go into a situation and start shooting. So therefore, a person that was at the event, they ended up putting out their gun and then they shot him. While he in the mix of trying to shoot and, call himself trying to show off or whatever he was trying to do, then she turned around and she ended up shooting him. Do I feel bad for the situation? No, I do not. I totally do not, because I just feel like at the end of the day, you should have never did that. You see what I'm saying? Like you went too far. And this is the reason why, even when it come down to these gun laws and stuff like that, because even with the first story, now he's 18 years old. He's not old enough to drink. He's not old enough to get into certain adult clubs and stuff like that. But he can buy a gun. He's old enough to get a gun. The laws have to change, because nowadays it's coming to the point where everybody have to be armed. Everybody has to be alert. You do not want everybody to be able to have access to something that can kill another individual, especially when y'all want to keep on running around here talking about mental health, when somebody then set up here and did a mass shooting, or somebody then set up here and killed a couple of people. Then y'all want to scream about, oh, they had mental health. Well, if that's the case, then y'all need to tighten up when it comes down to allowing people to buy guns. I remember at one point in time, you had to not only go through a class, but you had to go through a training. Like, you had to literally go through a class, you had to pass that, and you also need to know how to properly use the gun before they even allow you to give you your license. And now, especially in Texas, they have a rule where you ain't gotta do nothing. You can just go buy it. You can do whatever you like. So yeah, this brother, you know what I'm saying, sorry to his people, but that was very ignorant. This is the reason why I say you have to be aware of your surroundings. Because granted, a lot of people saying like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying, like, what was the reason for her shooting? She don't even know if he was actually targeting somebody. It doesn't matter if he was targeting somebody at all. This is a graduation party. First of all, I never thought it was very, a good thing to get the firearm and shooting all in the air. I never thought that was a good idea when it came down to celebrations, especially. I just thought that was so weird. People saying, "Oh yeah, we shoot for celebration." What makes that a celebration? That ain't giving me celebration vibes. Somebody shooting all in the air, shooting there, whatever. That's not what's up. Go to the gun range or go out there in the desert where y'all shooting deers. So yes, this man has lost his life because a woman that was also had a gun, and she feared for her life and her safety. She shot him on spot. And this is the reason why you have to be mindful, because it can get real crucial out here in these streets. You don't know who got what on what. So another story. I know you guys probably thinking like, wow, these stories, but this hot topic is really dedicated towards the gun violence that has been occurring, and just trying to make awareness of how serious it is. So it's a story on a 10-year-old girl killed the woman after she fought her mama. So it says a 10-year-old Florida girl shot and killed a woman who had gotten in a fight with her mother, authorities says Monday. The girl and her mother were taken into custody Monday night following the fatal shooting of Lashun Rodgers, 41, outside an apartment complex. Okay, and then it says the girl was released into the custody of the Florida Department of Children and Families. The girl's mother, Lakeisha, was arrested on charges of manslaughter and child neglect, contributing to the delinquent of a minor, and aggravated assault with a firearm. Okay, Isaac and Roger began fighting late Monday, and Isaac handed her daughter a bag that contained a gun. The girl took the gun out of the bag and fired 2 rounds, according to the police. Any charges for the girl will be decided after review by the state attorney office, Orlando Police Department says. Online court records show no attorney for Isaac. Records show she remained in jail Tuesday afternoon. Wow. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? This is another prime example of a gun shooting going all the way wrong. Now it's already bad enough that we had the mass shooting of a young man that was 18 years old, still holding in some type of hurt and resentment during a childhood, during his childhood, and he took it out on 19 children or innocent children at all. Now you turn around and you have a 10-year-old. Her mother got into an altercation, was having a fight. She handed her daughter the bag. The bag had a gun in it, and then the daughter pulled out the gun and shot at the other lady. So now the debate comes in, was the daughter right or wrong? Because we all know how we feel about, this is what I'm saying though, we all know how we feel about our family members and stuff like that. Some of y'all out here now, y'all I'll take a bullet behind mine. I don't play behind mine. I do this, I do that. And then I'm just gonna be honest, whether the mother would have never handed that girl a gun or not, she is traumatized. Period. This is the reason why, I don't know why they was fighting. They didn't even say why they was fighting. But this is the reason why, as parents, we have to be very leery when it comes down to altercations and stuff like that. Because not only, you know what I'm saying, now your daughter trying to protect you in the mix. Your daughter is trying to protect you in the mix of all this stuff. But when it boiled down to it, she might have to, her life might be literally, damaged for the rest of her life. Because let's just be honest, even if the little 10-year-old girl do get off or they give her some type of stuff, now she's removed from her mother, the same mother that she was trying to protect. Come on now. She's removed from that mother. Now she might have to go to foster care or go through another family member. And then on top of that, you might end up being in jail because in the process of you fighting and stuff like that. So you definitely have to be very mindful. I'm trying to see if they had a video. No, they didn't have a video. I was trying to see, was it a video or something like that. So yeah, so I mean, do you guys think that she handed her daughter that gun because she really did want her daughter to react and shoot? Do you feel like it was something to discuss? Because I'm just trying to figure out, first of all, why would you take your child to a gunfight? Why would you take your daughter to a gunfight? That's for number one. I mean, I'm just being in general in the fight. This is the reason why I say the mentality of it all. Because one thing about it, when you're fighting in front of children, whether it's with the same sex or the opposite sex, that is traumatizing to a child. So granted, like I can only imagine me sitting over here getting into an altercation with some people, whether it's a man or a woman, and then next thing you know, my children in the background. A child, especially when they have a love for their parent, their instinct is to jump right on in. Just like you don't play about yours, these kids don't play about their parents either. I'm just gonna be real. They don't play about their parents either. Do I feel like that was right? No, I really feel like the lady should have never even fought. Especially when she know her daughter, it was gonna be right there, or her daughter. Why? She's 10. Why would you sit up here? Did you tell her like, come on, let's go? And if it get out of hand, the gun gonna be in my purse, and you know what to do. Come on now. And for this girl, they literally have a picture of this girl standing right here. They literally have a picture of her standing right here with the gun aimed and shooting. She said, and I'm looking at some of the reviews, and somebody was like, felt like her mom set her up to do these kids won't get as much time as her. Oh, and a lot of people are feeling like that the mom basically, went in there with the intentions of fighting the woman, and then she told her daughter, if it gets out of hand, then go ahead and you let off and you shoot her, or you do this or this and that. You shoot her and stuff like that because you're a child. So you probably won't get as much time as I do if I retaliate. But look at the mindset. Lord help me, my family in this time of need. Mind you, this same 10-year-old also stabbed one of her little cousins to death. Wow. Oh my God. Somebody, the people were saying like the 10-year-old. So I don't know. This is deeper than what you think, but this is what I'm saying. Oh my God. So like I said, Prince, say, this particular episode podcast was really dedicated to the gun violence that has been going on and being mindful. I'm not even gonna lie. Do this make you be a little bit more aware, or do it make you want to make sure you train up your children to know how to use weapons, because we don't know how this stuff might play out in the future, because it's only getting worse? What are you guys' thoughts about it? Because even after the shooting and stuff like that, who was that? I remember I think it was Ohio saying that their field will basically require all the teachers can be armed. Like they can be armed with guns on them and everything else, in the process of teaching and stuff like that throughout the next school year. They're finna make a law for that. But it's just like, wow, it's crazy how you're trying to teach and educate and mold children, but then you also have to worry about, what if this might be the day one of these students or somebody come in here and then they turn around and then that's it? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, that is very discouraging. It's heartbreaking, and then, like I said, friends, say, even with the story of the 10-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Like the 10-year-old girl, like this, her life will never be the same. They already said that she stabbed one of her little cousins to death. I don't know, that's allegedly, because people do kind of exaggerate situations. Because I'm just saying though, if she honestly got a history of that, then definitely the story will unfold something deeper. But just even by her being ready to kill on sight, because don't get me wrong, if your child is around a certain type of environment, or if they have some type of, mental issues or some type of hurt and pain or whatever, for that young lady, I can see her, I can see an average kid jumping in and crying and trying to pull their parent back or breaking up because they're so heartbroken they don't want to see their parents. But for her to be in position and then she let off them shots, come on now, it's something deeper than that. So be mindful. Let's get into getting down to the root of problems. Let's get down to getting in the roots of people mental issues. Stop brushing out people issues as, oh, it's not a big deal, or somebody got it worse than you. Let's not put that stigma out there. That's the reason why so many of these kids grow up and then they have so many issues, and all they're doing is bringing on more and more generation of curses, and you know what I'm saying, and damaging, toxic, and trauma, because they never properly heal from what they're going through. I know somebody right now, they're in their 40s, and then they are still dealing with some type of trauma. They probably won't even tell you half of the trauma that they're going through. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they're going through something that they still haven't recovered from all the way. And every day they're making it and making it. Trust issues messed up. I'm so, not trying to say I'm tired, but I'm just saying it's a shame when a person is in their 30s, 40s, and then they're still talking about they have so many trust issues. They got so much hurt. They got so much pain, because let's just keep it real in the Black community, and I'm going to keep it all the way real. We tend to want to brush stuff up under the rug. Or when a child sit up here and going through something, we don't make them feel comfortable enough to speak out on it, because if we either throwing it back in their face, or we sitting over here making it seem like it ain't a big deal. What you mad for? You ain't depressed. Depress on them dishes. Depress that room. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to see that. Instead of just showing them the nurturing side, because then what happens? They grow up and they just be just as toxic. They be just as closed minded, corrupt, throwing it off, looking for love in all the wrong places, and the list goes on. So that wraps up today's episode, you guys. Please leave your comments or anything below if you wanted to kind of chime in on anything. I'm welcome to hear any type of, just any type of questions, or how you guys feel about the situations and all three of these events and stuff like that. And you guys have a wonderful day. Mwah.